Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to take this side panel off. And if you remember, I left off saying I needed to do something because my automatic paper or my manual paper feeder wasn't working. I determined what happened was there's a spring back here that operates that right there, that little arm. That arm in turn, whenever you pull on this, I don't know if it's showing real good, but I have everything loose, but whenever you pull on this, if you watch that little arm, it's moving it, and of course not good. I don't have this on very tight, but whenever everything's tightened up, your manual feed, that spring is what kicks it back in place. Just don't know if this is showing you, but I'm sorry, my lighting is awful today. It's cloudy outside. Anyway, this piece will not operate correctly without the spring in place to bring back your manual feed. The other thing I wanted to show you is in order to get this side panel off, there's a couple things you have to do. I've already loosened and taken out my screws. That's why it's so wobbly. So that's what you have to do. You have a couple of screws you have to take out. Then your handle, of course it's not this loose. I've already had it loosened. You take this nut off, and this is a special nut. You don't want to lose that because I don't know where on earth you'd find one at, but it's a special threaded one. Your handle, you can then just pull your handle straight out, and you'll notice it has two lips on there. I'll show you what those are for in a minute. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to move you too, but I didn't want to lay it on my hardwood floors. Okay, the next piece is this little metal piece. It comes off straight out again, and I'm also going to clean that up. The next thing you'll have to do is this right here is just screwed in to this side plate, and it has two little nuts back here. This nut is, you just turn this and the whole thing should turn. Now, if you find that once you start turning that, this nut stops and this nut is just coming out, then I'll show you that in a second. Okay, there you go. If this starts turning without this, that's easy. You can just hand take it out. Then this piece here, there's a little screw here you have to take out. Do that real quick. And once you take that out, it of course will drop this. You just take it out, slide it up. Your spring here, it'll stay attached to this, so you don't have to worry about it. Now, you notice this still won't pull out. What you have to do, if you follow it down, okay. Well, that's in the way. Okay, here's your thing we're trying to get out. Everything's a thing to me, so you'll know. So this here, just follow it all the way down, and right back here you'll notice a little Carter pin right down there. right there. Now, I wish I didn't have to hold this, but I do. But anyway, this arm, if you just take your flashlight, follow it all the way down, right here at the bottom, the only thing that's holding this arm in is a Carter pin. You'll have to take that Carter pin straight out, straighten it out, and pull it out. I just use needle nose pliers. I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the Carter pin out, and I was going to show you. There's the little tip right there, that little thing that's sticking out. To get to it, that's how I come in at this angle. If you have a pair of long needle nose pliers, I guess you could go in that way, but I had to straighten the tail of it out and then pull it straight up, and I was able to get to it a lot easier just right here. And if you'd want to, this here you can take off. It's just a screw. It's not going to affect anything. Just make sure you turn around, put it right back on so you don't lose it. Now, right behind, whenever I pull the Carter pin out, there's also a washer that you don't want to lose. Here's the Carter pin that come out of it. So, put that down here where I don't lose it. And then, if you have something magnetic, you can reach in there and pull your, well, I said you could. Well, I've done it now. I just dropped it down here. I've got to fish that out in a second. But anyway, that you want to pull that little washer out. And then this here, just finagle it off that little tip there and pull it straight out. So once you have all of those off, you can go ahead and just pull this straight out. And my problem is also, I don't like the newer brass look. This is a 100-and-something-year-old machine. I don't want my 100-year-old machine looking brand new because it's an antique. So I'm going to redo all my finish. I'm just not happy the way that it turned out. I want to darken it up quite a bit. To me, having a 100-year-old machine is like a 100-year-old woman wearing a mini skirt or with pink across her butt. That's just gross. So anyway, that shouldn't happen. So I don't want my register like that either. And I'm still fishing out my washer, which if it goes back there into the black hole, I try to keep all my parts once I take them out, and then put all my pieces to that part so I don't lose it in the corner from hell. The one where you can't find, you know you lost a screw, but you don't ever find it. So hopefully that washer didn't do that. And that's one thing you do want to make sure. If you do lose any little parts, make sure you don't go any further until you find them. Because what happens, like I said, this is gear driven. And if any of those metal parts get in between these gears, you've got a whole new problem. So if you do what I just did and lose a piece, then you want to make sure you go fishing for it and pull it out. So for that right now, I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and I'll be back when I discover something else new. Thanks. Bye.